Afyonkarahisar is virtually an undiscovered tourism paradise with its archaeological ruins, open-air temples, fairy chimneys, natural beauties, historical mansions, local handicrafts, and food. The city has a 5,000 years history. The footprints of Hittite, Phrygian, Lydia, Roman, Byzantine, Seljuk, and Ottoman civilization live on these lands. The city connected the most important coastal town of Aegean, Ephesus, to Anatolia with a king's way and remained its value on these caravan roads. The Hittites used this road as they went to Orzava. Phrygian settles on these lands. Alexander the Great's general made war in this region, and they shared Anatolia. These roads that were great importance for the Roman commerce were intersected here. For the Arabs and Turks, Afyonkarahisar was the place to take over primarily. The Greek army, who wanted to dominate Anatolia, occupied here first, and the great offensive was held in Kocatepe. Shortly, throughout history, Afyonkarahisar sometimes became a center for offensive, sometimes a center for commerce, and sometimes a center for culture. In Afyonkarahisar and around it, some cities such as Afamida, Sinara, Omorium, Panopolis, and Dosmium were established. Dinar, which was the most significant trade center in the Asia state other than Ephesus, hosted the first music contest in history. According to the legend, Apollo won the contest between the god Apollo and Marsyas, and the god Apollo hung his skin on a fir tree in Suchika. He turned Phrygian king Midas' heirs into donkey ears. Shuhut became a judicial region center in which Cicero addressed in 51 before Christ. In the Byzantine era, Hisarköy became the biggest city after Istanbul. On the other hand, İşçihisar had the greatest marble quarries of Roman Empire. Afyonkarahisar, with its remarkable cities, testify to the combination of Western and Eastern cultures for centuries. The city, which connects four corners of Anatolia and passes the rich history and cultural heritage on to nowadays, has become the focal point in the foundation of the Republic of Turkey. On August the 25th, 1922, Mustafa Kemal Pasha moved the fronts from Shuhut to Kocatepe and started the great offensive operation from Kocatepe on the morning of August the 26th. The attack order for the patched bottle was given from the Victory Museum. Independence and the Republic were both acquired in this land. Afyonkarahisar Castle is the most important eyewitness of the rich history. In 1344 before Christ, Mircea II made an expedition to the country of Orzava and built the city of Hapanoa, which means that high hill city for his soldiers' accommodation. The city, which was established at the foot of the castle in the Phrygian period, was named as Acronia, which is the oldest name in classical times. The city was then named after Acronium. At the summit of the castle, there remain shrines made on behalf of goddess Cybele, along with 4 Lord cisterns. The castle has always been in the foreground of the history of the city, and the city becomes almost identical to the castle. The castle is home to many kinds of beliefs, and many songs are composed about it. The castle, with its old magnificence, and the poppy plants have become the symbols of the city. In the early years of the Republic, these two icons and the city merged, and finally it was called as Afyonkarahisar. The historical artifacts in and around Afyonkarahisar are exhibited in the Archaeological Museum. The sculptures, columns, captions, inscriptions, sarcophagus found in the cities, which became famous for their wealth, and the marble quarries, the Roman and Byzantine periods can be seen in the museum. The museum is one of the best in terms of the artifacts being exhibited in Turkey. Bacakale, located in Dösemium, İsçihisar, is the largest marble quarry of the Roman Empire. According to mythology, the shepherd Otis, who was in love with the goddess Cybele, got injured by a wild boar while he was grazing his animals. Blood stains went deep into the white marble, and violet marble was formed. The white marble, that is often sugar, and the violet marble are only available to Bacakale in the world. The marble, that is an indicator of wealth and splendor, is handled by craftsmen in workshops. Sculptors created the most beautiful statues and sarcophaguses here. The Roman Emperor Augustus mentioned about İsçihisar by saying that, "I found Rome a city of mud bricks, but I met a city of marble." The first structure in which Afyon marble was used was the Pantheon in Rome. These marbles were used in the ancient theater of Ephesus as well. Today, the Afyon marble that decorates the houses of many domestic and foreign celebrities has been used in the White House. Nowadays, the marble industry concentrated in İsçihisar is an important industry. Phrygians built a city in Göniş Valley that belongs to İhsaniye province and former Diyarbakır. Phrygian Valley is like an open-air museum with churches, rock settlements, burial chambers, and monuments. Along with Aslankaya, Kapıkaya, and Maltaş temples, you could find Aslantaş and Yılantaş rock tombs. In the Ayazini town, the rock church, carved caves, burial chambers, and rock placements attract your attention. Fairy chimneys in the region are also a natural wonder that is worth seeing. On the way to Ankara, there are Kırkınlar rock placement near İsçihisar and Bininler rock placement in Şuhud. Hundreds of houses carved into the rocks are assembled in an orbit of a belief. And the line extending from Christianity to Islam, Afyonkarahisar hosts an intense religion culture and a heritage. The Grand Mosque, made in 1273, moves the aesthetic of 700 years of Seljuk period up to the present. The mosque, constructed on 40 wooden columns and headings, is one of the unique works of the period with its green glass minarets. Gedik Ahmet Pasha complex was made by Gedik Ahmet Pasha, who was the Grand Vizier of Fatih Sultan Mehmet between the years 1472 and 1477. The mosque is one of the most beautiful works of the era, with its colorful gate, niche, pulpit, and interior decoration. The Karahisar Castle, gathering around these valleys for centuries, is almost a living history with the streets in the foothills, mansions, and houses. Through the restoration works, the history is revived. The city lives the history, and are intertwined with all these historic inns, baths, and caravansaries and the bridges, and will always make them live. Mevlana visited Afyonkarahisar in the beginning of the 13th century, and after his father's death, his son, Sultan Veled, planted the very first seeds of the Mevleviya in the city. With Sultan Divani, who was the 7th generation grandson of Mevlana, Mevleviya reached the peak, and from there it spread to the whole world. Afyonkarahisar Mevlevihane is the most important Mevlevihane after the Konya Mevlevihane. The mosque welcomes the graves of the Sultan Divani and other Mevlevi dervishes. The museum located in the garden is worth seeing, with its kitchen, dervish, sema, Mevlevihan, and calligrapher rooms. Another historic building in Afyonkarahisar is the Afyon High School. The history of high school dates back to Karahisari Sahib Rushdiyesi, which was opened in 1868. The front and rear walls are decorated with fine examples of Ottoman ceramic art. Afyon High School, which is a plane tree for centuries-old Turkish education system, marked the Republic's history by training statesmen, politicians, and scientists. The Victory Monument in the city center was erected to commemorate the city's liberation from enemy occupation. The Victory Monument that created between the years 1934 and 1936 by a famous sculptor Henrik Krippel is integrated with the castle behind the display. Afyonkarahisar, with its world-famous cream, is a dominant city in all kinds of sweet and confectionery. The cream made from buffalo milk is more delicious. Afyonkarahisar is associated with sugar and creamy delight.